Hello and welcome. It's Kathy A here, and it's almost December 1st, and so of course that means all of the new palettes are out, and I just thought I'd give you a little tour of my palettes and do the perfect palette tag. I think this is something that everybody's been doing, and I just haven't had my turn at it. First of all, I store my palettes in CD racks, record racks, business file folder racks, and that kind of helps a little bit. And the little ones here I have in little file folder racks. Now I'm not talking about, actually the very smallest palette I have is this one because I use it all the time. I consider it a very valid palette. I'll start with some of the larger ones. This is something I picked up in the drugstore. This is a palette from Profusion that you can get at Walgreens right now. I think it's $5, and it's very, very cute. It's only $5, and you get all of these lip shades, eye shades, nice mirror, and you get some nice shimmer thing in a nice case. This is a really good one for filling in colors you don't have. I don't use it a whole lot, but I do once in a while visit some of those colors. Probably one of my favorite palettes this year is the Victoria's Secret palette. And this is called Me Glam, and this is it's got everything you need for a face, and it's got lip liner, mascara, eyeliner, it's got sponge tip applicators, it's got powder, highlight powder, blushes, it's got lipsticks and lip glosses, and all these eye shades. It's absolutely wonderful. I think this is one of the best palettes I've ever seen, and the quality is great. It's only $34, so it's really good value for what you get. So the Victoria's Secret, this is just beautiful with a little clasp, and it's easy to open. Some of these things are really, you need an engineering degree to open some of these things. Of course, Christmastime, we have the holiday palette, and this one has an assortment of, this is Too Faced, a few of my favorite things, and everybody and their uncle has this and is bragging about it. I think it's interesting. It doesn't have everything I want in it, but I'm picky. It comes with a mascara and a lip plumper. I actually sent the lip plumper to somebody. I don't know if I sent it to Karen, to Chalky Kez, or if I sent it to Colleen, but one of you two got it. I sent my two things out today. It's November 30th today, and I sent my two prizes from the 200 subscribers. Now the Too Faced, a few of my favorite things, comes in this bag, which I guess you can hold stuff in it. I don't like this. I don't like the colors, you know, so that kind of stuff is so wasted on me. It's just like excess packaging that's not necessary. But this is a wonderful palette. It's very expensive. I think it's too expensive. It is $56. For that $56, you get their Chocolate Soleil bronzer, which is a matte bronzer that looks marvelous on your skin. There's also a slight shimmer one in a slight lighter shade, and the same one in a shimmer shade, so maybe for evenings. And you've got two blushes. One's kind of more of a neutral color, and then you've got kind of a pinky color on that one. There's a little booklet here for you telling you how to use all of these things. I don't know. I should probably read them sometime. Maybe I'll learn something. I don't know. I'm always learning. Yeah, it just shows you different combinations of ways to do the bronzer and highlighter and stuff. Now these eyeshadows are wonderful. You have a couple of mattes. You have this matte, which is a nice crease color. You have this matte, which is a nice that way. And then you've got some really spectacular colors that just stand out so nicely, and they're all named after, if few of my favorite things, Christmastime stuff. So I'll just read some of the names. They're really cute. But I think it's a great value. This one is kind of a shimmery purple. It's called Soiree. And we also have this beautiful one called Evergreen. The blue satin sashes is a gold flecked dark turquoisey royal blue. It's absolutely stunning. And then we have dark chocolate, which is a nice dark matte. It's not a black, it's a dark chocolate color. And then we have Pure Glam, which down here is a black sparkle. We have Party Time, which is a very nice royal blue sparkle. We have a matte here. This is called Ula Orchid, this really pretty matte purple color. And then we've got this one called Bluff, and it's kind of a periwinkle, a shimmery periwinkle silver. Tinsel is kind of a goldeny color, which actually looks gold on your eyelids. It's a really nice lid color for the holidays. We also have Coquette, which is a very light girly pink shimmer color, really good for the lids. This is a nice matte cream colored Ponies, is a very nice kind of a lid base color, or for just inside, you know, in here. Snowflakes is a very pretty white shimmery color. And then we have Whiskers on Kittens, which I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's a beautiful pale pink with a gold shimmer in it. And it just sets off so nicely. I just think it's a beautiful combination of shadows. It's an unusual assortment. And because they have the neutrals in here that are matte, it's very wearable, and you can use it for several different types of looks. So I can do a daytime look with this, and I can also, you know, really swing out and do some stuff at night. So if you're wearing a special colored gown or something like that, or you really want to bring out your eye color, man, this is just gorgeous. So my only complaint about this really is that the lip plumper, apparently, I didn't even open it, I just sent it to somebody else, but I've been hearing different people saying that the lip plumper stings, and I just didn't want to try it. I don't want to bother with it. So there's so much other stuff in this that I let it go. Now, Smashbox came out with this thing called Wonder Vision, and it was on sale at Sephora, at Ulta. It was on sale at Ulta today for $39. So it was one of those Black Friday kind of sale things. But they took $10 off the price. Now this has, let me have a look here. I can never feel. Okay. This has 30 eyeshadows, 3 blushes, a bronzer, and then it's got personalized cards that tell you how to use the eye makeup. Now I don't really care for prism-shaped or artsy-shaped eyeshadows. I like squares or circles, because you can deal with them with your brush and stuff. When they got weird shapes that go down into little points and triangle points and stuff, there's one from e.l.f. that I already took back. It's got all little tiny triangles, and it's all like a million colors. It is so overwhelming and awful to use. I took it back, and it's got every color in the rainbow in it. So anyway, so this is how the inside packaging looks, and it kind of gives you the clue of what's going on. I don't go all goo-goo over the packaging. I don't really care, because to me that's not what's important. You do have a mirror here, which what I'll do is I'll take some of these how-to cards and put that over there so you can look at this for what it is. Now what I like about this is they have the names of the blushes over that in very thin little white writing. Need your glasses for that one. And each eyeshadow has a name over the top of it. But they have a fantastic assortment of matte shades, glimmer shades. My whole eye look today is, including the eyeliner, is completely done from this palette today. So this is all, I used, this is in my crease color here, this one. And then this is also in kind of the corner here. And I used this one down here for the edge. And I used this really pretty kind of rosy brown right in the middle of my lid. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's kind of neat. And I used a combination of this one and this one in the inner corner, so they're very, very nice for blending. Now these are subtle colors, and I've heard people say that they don't like the fact that that the colors are not real pigmented, and I like that fact because I'd rather build up slowly, and if you're over 45 you really can't be heavy-handed with shadows, so it's really nice if you can start off with a lighter touch and build up into something bigger. So this is absolutely a beautiful set. Now you've got a bit of, it's a light color, but it's a nice contour if you're light to medium skin. Now darker skinned people, I'm really surprised there's not something darker in here, but anyway, there's a beautiful pale pink shimmery blush that has a slight gold shimmer to it. There's a matte darker pink for a more, you know, stronger look, and then we have a regular light girly kind of Barbie pink for that. But I just think this is an enormously wonderful set for the money, and I think this was a terrific deal for that money. You get all those blushes and everything. I haven't read the cards on how to do the makeup, but I'm usually not that clueless. So the next one is something you can only get at Kohl's, and that's the Lorac Rockin' Red Hot combo, and it's only $25. And this is what I bought last week. I was showing it and talking about it, but you get two palettes. One is a eye palette, which is kind of neat, and it's got, most of the shades are shimmer. It's not a usable everyday palette, but it's got some beautiful colors in there, and these two here on the side, they're actual colors. You can use them for, you know, just under the brow, or, you know, inside inner corner, or you can even use like this one maybe for a little bit of a highlight, just to give you a little bit of, you know, dimension. So this is a really nice eyeshadow collection. Although they are all shimmers, you can't use it for a complete eye look, but you certainly can complement your eye look with some of this. And now this is the lip palette, which I think is really good. Again, they're slightly sheer colors. They're not really strong, dark, heavily pigmented lipsticks. And there's a nice assortment of colors for fall into winter with some light glosses. And I've dipped into it a little bit. But you've got everything from your darker berries and bright reds down to your neutrals, nudes, and natural looking pinks. So I think it's a really nice, for 25 bucks, I think it's a great way to test out Lorac and see what's going on. The next palette that I have is just a cheapy one I got at Ocean State Job Lot. It's just a Build Your Face junk one. I was going to use it just for a couple of the colors, and I always like these kind of shades for highlight blushes. This is City Color, which is a drugstore brand. I think you can find it in Rite Aid. And this is kind of their version of the Naked palette. They're lightly pigmented, so you can build them all, but there's some really good doable colors in here. This is a sleek palette that was given to me by Helen in England. And it is a beautiful, which one is this? The Eye Divine. This has got some wonderful dark colors in it, matte colors, and she knows I like matte colors, so, and I've been playing around with different looks from this one, but it's got some great different colors in there. This one is new from Profusion, and I really like it because you can really play around with a bunch of different colors. There's 3 colors in each circle. Most of them are shimmers, but you get some nice, interesting, different sort of colors than you would normally have. So, you know, colors like this, turquoise. It's a shimmery, very cool turquoise. You can actually just dot it in the center of your eye and work it in, and there's just a subtle hint of the color, but it's there. But I like to use bright colors like that just for the center, what I call my color bar. And so I like things like this so that I can play around that way. Because I don't think we should always have brown brown beige eyes. Beige eyes to me is like white walls in a house. I think you really need to mix it up every now and then. One of my favorite palettes is the Kat Von D palette. This is the Ladybird palette, and it comes with a eyeliner that's kind of a burnt dark red, blood red brown color. It's very nice. It's a perfect autumn palette, but I used it also in summer. It's all matte shades, which is really nice. You've got a lid color, you've got some nice blending colors. This orangey, burnt orange color you can use maybe in the corner or as a transition color. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and this was one of my favorite palettes of all time. I just love this, and I'm so glad she did an all matte version. Too Faced again they do all these little kits, and this is their matte eye look, and you've got, you know, a nice charcoal gray, a dark blue, and a dark brown. Very nice. Two colors here really nice for your crease area. Two colors here really nice for your inner corner and under your brow. You can also use this as a nice highlighter or just above the Cupid's bow. This is a great all-purpose palette. It's got your darks, your lights, they're all matte. They've got the pretty kind of powder blue color, and you've got this really nice kind of lavender color. It's a really good assortment of colors. So this is probably one of my favorites. This is called the Matte Eye. They still sell this. Not on my list of favorites, but I keep it around, is the e.l.f. I don't know why I don't like e.l.f. eye palettes, but they just don't do it for me. Maybe because there's just so many, it's overwhelming. It's like going into an ice cream store and you like chocolate chip ice cream and you see 800 flavors except for chocolate chip. You know, that's how I feel about e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes that have 600 colors in them. I'm looking for a nice matte brown for my crease. I have to go through all of this, you know, and it's like, it's too much mental work, and I know that sounds really silly, but when you're waking up in the morning and putting your makeup on, it's like, well, I was over the third row over and a sixth one down, you know, I don't like to play with these kind of things, so those don't get used very often. Now, Lorac has the Pro palette, and a lot of people like this, and I think it's probably one of my favorite palettes as well. It's my favorite for a couple of reasons, and one of the main things is that it's got a whole row here of matte shade eyeshadows, and the bottom here are all shimmers. So you can make a nice, beautiful eye, neutral look, or you can really make it dark and dramatic all with one palette, and you can do it all with one palette. I've done many faces between my daytime neutral look and my evening glamour look with this palette alone. So this is a perfect standalone palette. There aren't that many that I feel are standalone, but that one is one of them. Now the Balm, I find them a little expensive, but I like their package. They have such cute packaging, it's really funny. This is the Balm Jovi palette, and this is their rock and roll version. It looks like a matchbook, which is kind of funny. You pull it open like you would for matches. You know, you wouldn't strike it. Anyway, nice little heart-shaped mirror up top here. I'm just going to fold that back so it doesn't distract you. When you pull it down, you've got two lipsticks. You've got a nice neutral, normal kind of medium pink shade. It's very toned down, very, very neutral pink. And then you've got kind of a red shade. You've got a nice peachy kind of neutral blush. It's not too strong, it's just very subtle. I was surprised at the color choice, but that's me. And you have a nice kind of powder, a highlight powder. So this cheek is going to be very highlighted by the end of this. And then you have 12 colors up here, some really beautiful. I bought this palette for this green. I really like it a lot. Now, IT Cosmetics just came out with a brand new palette that I absolutely love, and it's not available at Ulta yet. You have to buy it online only, and it's not going to be in the physical stores until February, but I think it's called Perfectly Natural palette, and it's got about, I think, 16 or 20 colors, and it's got one block of color that's a shimmer, and you literally put the matte shade on your eyes, and then you go into the shimmer block and go over the top, and it makes it a shimmer color. It shears it out a little bit, but it makes a beautiful palette. Now this is their original 12 color palette, which it's okay. I think it's missing a lot of interesting colors. It falls flat with me, but I have used it a lot. You can see it's all messed up because I do use it a lot because I like neutral colors and I wear them at work all the time. I actually do rotate my makeup and use all my makeup. So this one has a nice black. It has a very pretty shimmery brown color that I do like, and it's got a black for mixing. It's got a nice couple of shades here for your crease area. 3 beautiful lid shades. This one is a nice transition color. You can wear up in here between the highlight and the crease color. You can wear that as kind of a transition up color. You've got a nice bright blue, a nice bright purple if you want to have a little bit of color mix up. And again, you can blend everything with the black to make it slightly different. But I think probably that other palette is a better deal. This one I think is $41. The new palette that's out that you can get online, I believe that's $49, and I would personally recommend that one over this one. I was kind of disappointed in this one when I got it, so I just thought it was a little expensive. Now, smaller palettes, this is a real go-to palette. This is the Sonia Kashuk matte palette, and Sonia Kashuk has very high quality shadows. This one has 12 colors. Really nice assortment of crease colors, lid colors, some darker colors, and then you've got this pretty dusty blue color you can use in your color bar, or you can use it to line under your eyes. It's a really nice assortment of colors. I find it a little boring, and I never liked it before, but I do find that for natural, everyday eye, this is wonderful. If you're over 40, you should have this palette. You can get this at Target, and it's Sonia Kashuk. And this is the matte palette. It runs around $20, so it's 12 colors. It's not so bad if you think of them per color. This is the Sunkissed palette from England, and it's a lot like a naked palette type of thing. It's got some great shades. Again, nice, beautiful bronzy browns and reddish colors. Beautiful lid shades, a couple of nice dark ones. I love makeup from England. Ellen's been so cool, too. She's been sending me some really neat things. The very last palette I'm going to show you is Sephora's Makeup Academy palette. I'll show you this because I hate it, and I thought I was going to love it because it's got everything in it you would ever want for your entire life, but I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because there's so much stuff in there. I do like the product. I do like, you know, the shadows. I like the lipsticks a lot. I like the there's concealers. There's all kinds of stuff in here. There's concealers here, there's lipsticks, there's eye creams, eyeshadows, there's lipsticks, and then there's the glosses. You've got lip balms and eye balms, and I mean, it just has everything you would ever want, a million colors, but it's so bulky, and I don't have a lot of real estate on top of my makeup counter. And I don't have a lot of patience. And again, this is another one of those things where it's like, oh, I think I'll use this green. And that's, you know, 5 rows over, 6 rows down, you know, just, or I like this, but it's very similar to this. You know, there's so many colors, it's overwhelming. And it's another one of those kind of things where I think I might even depan these and make my own palettes up, because this is just, it's just too much, you know. And I love the fact that you can play around with these colors. If I was 14, or 15 years old and playing around with makeup with my friends, this would be heaven sent. I would love this. But, and the lipsticks are beautiful. They're beautiful on. I love them. The eye creams are great. And, you know, over here, all of these glosses are beautiful. And there's the concealers, very useful, and they work. They're very good. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the product. I just find that it's just so big. It's so big and icky. So if you're a regular person or if you're a collector of makeup, this looks really tempting. It's $49. I've seen it as high as $75 or $80 on Amazon, but you can buy it online for $49. Free shipping. I don't know. Nah, I don't like it. So, what I did show in another video was making my own palettes up. This is my crease and lid palette with different colors I took out of other palettes. And I thought this was a great way to display, you know, the colors that I like, as I just break it. It's a great way to show you your own makeup. So when you're going through, you've got your own palette with all the colors you like in there that you want to use. And I've got all my nice crease colors here that I can use. I can just hit it right first thing in the morning. Also for my palette, I've used a, I know, isn't this funny? I have used a pill box. It is a, you know, one of those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for your pills. But I filled it with lipsticks, and I put on the top what the lipsticks are. But this is my lipstick palette. I have a couple of them. I just thought it was a great way to organize lipsticks so that there's just not blobs and blobs of cases all over the place. I can actually see the pigments. I'm not judging them by whether they're Wet n Wild or if they're Estee Lauder or if they're L'Oreal or if they're, you know, something nice. I look at them for the color, the pigment, and I put them on. Today is Mary Kay's Dusty Rose is what I have on right now. And I wouldn't have chosen that, I don't think, if I hadn't put it all out here and thought, oh, I kind of like that color. So I've also done that with my blushes and highlighters. And, you know, I do have some things still in their original packet, but, you know, this is a lot of fun. And I also made myself a car kit, which to me, this is a perfect palette right here. Okay, and the camera turned itself off. Oh my God. I have just had this struggle with technology the last week or so. Anyway, where I left off was I was talking a little bit about my homemade palette, and this was a palette that has in it the powder, the highlight and contour, the blush, eyeshadows, lid colors, dark, deep colors, a really nice little stick for lining, and I could probably fit maybe a mascara in there too, and maybe a small lipstick. It has a Velcro closing, so this is probably the most perfect palette. So let's segue into the shortest segment of this video. Is actually the perfect palette tag. And there are 8 questions. The first one is the best packaging? And I would have to say the Bon Jovi packaging is probably the best. It's very clever, very well done, and very cute. So that's the best packaging. Best color payoff is question 2. And oh boy. You know, I would probably have to say this Too Faced one, a few of my favorite things. This is stunning color payoff. I don't think I've really quite seen anything quite like this. And it's just such a wonderful and unique grouping of colors. And then the chocolate soleil, of course, you know, but I would say this one is probably the best color payoff of all of the ones that I have, but all of them are fairly good. And, you know, best color payoff, is that the way I use it, or is it, you know, some people think highly pigmented is the best color payoff, but I don't think so. So I do think that this one is just outstanding. The few of my favorite things from Too Faced. Question 3, most versatile. I'm going to have to say it's this Victoria's Secret Give Me the Glam. This is a beautiful set that has everything in it, and we talked about it before. So I'll just say that this is the set that I think is most versatile because it has the lips, the eyes, the shadows, it has lip liner, mascara, liner, has everything you need, and it's only $34. So I think that's probably the best deal and the most versatile out of all of it. Is it versatile or versatile? Anyway, 4, best for traveling. Best for traveling. It's going to have to be my little homemade kit that I made. because I have everything in here except for the mascara and foundation. And I think that this is probably the best for traveling. So my own homemade palette is. Number 5, the biggest regret. My biggest regret is my biggest palette, which is this Sephora thing. This Makeup Academy palette. It's the biggest regret because it's the biggest freaking thing. I mean, it's too big for my makeup table, and there's too much stuff in here, and it's tiny, tiny little things. You can only get a tiny little brush in, and you've got blushes here right next to, like the green eye cream is right next to an orange blush. The blue is right next to this pink blush. So when you go in to get some pink, you have to use the tiniest of brushes to do that in order to not get either the blush on the blue shadow or the blue shadow on the blush. So yeah, this was really kind of a disappointment, but it looked good on the outside, just like a lot of things. I was like a kid in a candy store. I thought, I want all these colors, I want all these lipsticks, it's fun to try them, and the products are fine, but it's my biggest regret. It's like 50 bucks, and there's just, no, it's just too big and clunky, and if you can't use it, it doesn't matter how many colors are in there. So that's my biggest regret, is the Sephora Makeup Academy palette. Number 6, best color names. You know, I'll have to go with the Bomb again. I think that this one was absolutely hysterical. They're all rock and roll oriented names, and some of them are Led Zeppelin is that beautiful green I like. Alice Copper is this nice rust. We have Presto, Moderato, Allegro, and Adagio. These are all musical terms. The Stroke, which is black, I think that's very, very clever. And Third Eye Blinded, which is kind of a fleshy tone. Blank 1982 is a nice crease color. And Iron Made in. So yeah, I think these are good. Disco is the highlighter color. And then we have Pop Pop, Don't You Want Me for the blush. And then we've got Millie and Vanilli for the 2 lipstick colors. So these just very clever names, so very, very cute. So this is my winner for that. Least used. You know, least used. Anything not in here. Probably anything with the e.l.f. palette or anything like that. I'm not really that crazy about some of the junky ones, some of the ones that you get, like, you know, things like this where you get, they're cheap, it's a cheap brand, but you use them once in a while for a color here and there. Probably the least used are, I would say, are my e.l.f. palettes. And even though I like e.l.f. for a lot of things, and their foundation is wonderful, I don't like their eyeshadow palettes at all, so that's my least used. And number 8 is, what is my most used, loved, and Desert Island? That's a tie between the Lorac Pro and I really liked this Smashbox, and I think I'm probably going to vote for the Smashbox. It is just too beautiful. It's got the blushes, bronzer, and all these beautiful shadows. I'll have to say that this Smashbox would go with me to the Desert Island. So that is the winner. And I'll have to look at these different eye things that they have in there to tell me how to use eye makeup. So that is the perfect palette tag, and I hope you enjoyed that and got a little education on some of these palettes. And again, you know, I do have a video out there on how to make your own homemade palette and also how to save and rescue eyeshadows and blushes. So you know how they break in the pan. So anyway, look for that, and until next week, everybody have a beautiful day, and happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends, and I hope everyone had a very nice Thanksgiving in America, and we went to a country club and I didn't have to cook or anything, but we didn't have any leftovers, so I didn't get to make my soup. Really missed that. And I had to work the next day, but I did do Black Friday shopping, so that'll come up in a future video. So everybody, again, have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.